Hello and welcome. Today we're diving deep into the incredible life of one of the most famous and mysterious figures in Viking history, Ragnar Lothbrok. Known as the curly-haired or shaggy breeches warrior, Ragnar's story is filled with bravery, cunning, family drama, and epic battles that shaped the course of Northern Europe. So, sit back and join me as we explore the legend and reality of this legendary Viking chieftain. Early life and rise to power. Ragnar was born sometime in the early 9th century in Scandinavia, though the exact date and place remain uncertain, wrapped in myth and fragmented history. From a young age, he showed exceptional skill as a warrior and leader. The name Lothbrok itself means shaggy breeches, said to refer to the special pants he wore made from animal skins, protecting him during battle. Growing up amidst harsh northern landscapes, Ragnar mastered the seas early on. The Vikings were famous for their longships, swift, narrow vessels that could sail open oceans and sneak through shallow rivers. Ragnar became an expert navigator and fearless raider, quickly earning a reputation for daring raids on coastal villages and monasteries across Europe, the Vikings and their world. Before diving into Ragnar's most famous exploits, it's important to understand the Viking world. These seafaring Norsemen weren't just brutal raiders, they were traders, explorers, and settlers. Their ships allowed them to reach as far as the British Isles, France, even parts of the Mediterranean and North America. Viking society was complex, with chieftains like Ragnar leading bands of warriors, religious beliefs rooted in gods like Odin and Thor, and a culture that valued honor, bravery, and loyalty. The legendary Siege of Paris, 845 AD. One of Ragnar's most legendary exploits was the Siege of Paris in 845 AD. According to the sagas, Ragnar assembled a massive fleet of longships and sailed down the Seine River towards the rich and powerful city of Paris, then part of the Frankish Empire. The Vikings, known for lightning-fast raids, launched a brutal attack. Despite the city's defenses and the Frankish king, Charles the Bald's efforts to repel them, Ragnar's forces overwhelmed the defenders. The siege didn't last long. It was more a devastating raid than a prolonged siege. To save Paris from destruction, King Charles agreed to pay a hefty ransom, reportedly 7,000 pounds of silver, effectively buying off the Vikings. This enormous payout enriched Ragnar and cemented his fame as a fearless leader who could challenge Europe's greatest powers.
Ragnar wasn't just a warrior. He was also the patriarch of a powerful Viking dynasty. His multiple wives and children played critical roles in Viking history. His sons especially became legendary in their own right. Bjorn Ironside, known for his incredible strength and daring voyages across the Mediterranean. Ivar the Boneless, famed for his brilliant military tactics despite suffering from a debilitating condition that left his bones fragile or malformed. Sigurd Snake in the Eye, whose nickname came from a distinct mark in his eye, was another fierce Viking leader. These sons avenged their father's death and expanded Viking influence across Europe, leading invasions into England, Ireland, and beyond. The death of Ragnar, the Snake Pit. Ragnar's end is as dramatic and legendary as his life. According to the sagas, after a failed raid in England, he was captured by King Alla of Northumbria. Alla, known for his cruelty, sentenced Ragnar to a brutal death, throwing him into a pit filled with venomous snakes. Facing death, Ragnar reportedly met his fate with defiance and courage. His last words, as told in the stories, were a prophecy that his sons would one day seek vengeance and bring destruction upon Alla's kingdom. True to this prophecy, his sons launched massive invasions, famously known as the Great Heathen Army, which devastated much of Anglo-Saxon England. Ragnar's historical impact and mythical status. It's difficult to separate fact from legend with Ragnar Lothbrok. While some historians believe he was a real Viking chieftain, or perhaps a composite of several historical figures, there's no doubt his story captured the imagination for centuries. Ragnar symbolizes the Viking spirit, fearless, ambitious, and fiercely loyal to family and honor. His adventures have inspired countless books, TV series, and films, making him one of the most enduring figures of the Viking Age. Conclusion. So, whether Ragnar Lothbrok was a single man or a legendary amalgamation, his story represents the thrill and complexity of the Viking era. From his daring raids to his dramatic death and lasting legacy through his sons, Ragnar's tale is one of adventure, tragedy, and legend. If you enjoyed this journey into Viking history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you next time with more fascinating stories from the past. Thanks for watching.